Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this morning's edition of Contracting Chatter. You know how we do over here. We don't believe in growing alone. So tag your business bestie, your contractor's notebook, your favorite beverage, and get ready. Now, if you're driving, just turn up your volume. That's why we don't believe in growing alone. And welcome. I'm streaming to multiple platforms. And welcome Clubhouse. Clubhouse is joining us today for the first time. Contracting Chatter is my platform where we talk about all things government contracting and all things business. Because remember, government contractors are businesses first and foremost. And you can't obtain a government contract, you cannot maintain a government contract, and you cannot scale and grow in government contracting if your business is not sound. Keep that in mind, because one of the things, and often the things that audited, are your business systems in government contracting. There's a whole audit around business systems and government contracting. Welcome and good morning. Good morning. So, one of the things I have noticed, I'm just launching right into it. People don't listen. I don't debate people. I make statements. And what I've noticed is people don't listen. They don't read what you write. They don't hear what you say. So I'm getting ready to start this off. And I want you to hear what the words that I'm saying. And I want you to hear it in my words and in my voice, not the voice in your head. Oftentimes, we as women, we experience this. And men, if you've done this and you get offended, please don't be offended. But we've seen the term "hello, beautiful." It's been in our DMs, emails, texts. "Hello, beautiful." And for the person sending the message, they think they have sent an earth shattering message. But for the recipient, we have rolled our eyes because we have seen it for the umpteenth time. And you're saying to yourself, Luciana, what does this have to do with business or government contracting? I'm getting ready to tell you. A lot of you are sending earth shattering proposals, but what you have done is you have sent a Hello Beautiful. You have not moved the world. You have not impressed the recipient. What you did was the equivalent to a Hello Beautiful. Let that sink in for a minute. What was in that proposal that made you different? What was in that proposal that set you apart? That is what we're going to talk about this morning. A lot of times, and I've heard this multiple times, men are like, what's wrong with a Hello Beautiful? Because it doesn't distinguish you from the pack. You sound like every other person who have said Hello Beautiful. What's wrong with your proposal? You sound like everybody else who submitted it. What makes you different? Now, I've often said proposals are not creative writing projects. I'm not telling you, good morning, Chef Flavor. I'm not telling you not to answer the question. I am not telling you to use this time to experiment with the thesaurus. I am telling you this is the time to set yourself apart. This is the time to demonstrate to the reader that you are different. You can answer the mail. You are the solution. You are their penicillin. You are their chemotherapy. You are their cure. This is not the time to send a Hello Beautiful. This is not the time to be generic. This is not the time to be no frills. Anybody remember the time when you had the white label cereal sitting beside the Kellogg's? How often did people choose the white label box versus Kellogg's? Do you want to be chosen or do you want to be overlooked? This is not time for Hello Beautiful. It's time to set yourself apart. And the proposal process is the time you set yourself apart. It is not the time. Now, hear what I'm saying. You answer the question. You be compliant. It's not the time for Hello Beautiful. Does that make sense to anybody that I'm saying? TikTok, you know what to do. Get them likes up, get the shares up. Everybody else, you're working with me. You're all far too often, you feel as though I know what I'm saying, so the reader's supposed to know what I'm saying. Nobody's a mind reader. Nobody knows how excellent you are unless you tell them. And the proposal response is your time to do that. Are you building in enough time to properly answer the proposal? I'm going to go here. Are you building in enough time to properly read the proposal in order to respond to the proposal? Because a lot of people aren't even reading the proposal. When I offer compliance review services, that's one of the services I offer. The first thing I notice is most people aren't reading the RFPs. So, of course, you're developing a Hello Beautiful proposal because you didn't read the RFP to start with. So your proposal isn't meeting the mail, or it isn't maximizing the opportunity to present yourself because you didn't read the RFP to start with. So you're not saying, I can do this or I can perform at this ultimate level because you didn't allow yourself enough time to fully decode the RFP so that you can develop a proper proposal response. And we're not even going to get into pricing. I went to pricing last week. Matter of fact, I did pricing for a full hour. So if you don't lose on the pricing, you lose on the technical. And most of you don't even get the pricing because you lost out on technical. You're developing a hello, beautiful response. And nobody wants that. Respect your company enough to develop a response that says, I am your solution. It's okay to brag. It's okay to say, we are the only option for you. That's the time to do it in the proposal. And here are the reasons we feel we are the only solution. And even when you're presenting your subcontracting partners, you are the prime. You need to demonstrate you can manage your subcontractors. A lot of you aren't even talking about how you're managing your subcontractors in your proposals. So the government wants to hear that. The government wants to understand they don't have to then worry about subcontractors running amok. The government is risk averse. I keep telling you that. So they want assurances that they are hiring and contracting with the company that can perform the work and it's in for the long haul. And once they are sure that, you will receive work after work. Your reputation builds in the world. And agencies will hire you over and over again. You may find out that contract will get extended. But you won't get that with a hello, beautiful response. Is this making sense to anybody? Every RFP, the RFP is the request for proposal, tells you exactly what the government is looking for. Are you telling them how you are the answer? And if you're not sure, then you need to have somebody come in and review it to make sure you are. That needs to be a part of your process. Do you have a process to ensure that you're compliant? Do you have a proposal process? What are your contracting processes? I went through the stages of government contracting. I started it last Wednesday and I finished it up yesterday. For those of you who missed it, all of my lives are available on my YouTube channel, LT&A Consulting Group. Go check it out. So in every stage, you have a responsibility. In the RFP stage, in the bidding proposal stage, you should have a process. Every stage has a process. That's why I created the ebook. So while I went over it in the live, there's more. I could sit here all year and never leave BNP. There's more. Do you have a process that covers the BNP stage so you don't develop a hello beautiful response? Because women, I know women feel, and you know what, men hear it too. I mean, I've heard men say they hate it. So, you know, when you go into your emails, when you go into your DMs, you know how you feel when somebody say hello beautiful. Then you know what the reader feels when you develop that type of response. And if you don't want to be overlooked in the a proposal in the process, then you need to develop the metrics required to ensure that you're not developing those type of responses. That's all I'm saying to you this morning. You don't want a hello beautiful response. Does that make sense to everybody today? I was just thinking about that when I opened my DMs and I saw that. Now, talk about all of that. I talk about the stages of contracting in my book, Keys to Contracting. It's available on Amazon. I'm working on the second edition of the book, and I'm going to flush things out in the book. Some things that I put in the book that's kind of like, when I went back and reread it, there were some things I left out. I'm going to add back in. I had said this morning's live was going to be a short live. And I'm going to keep it short this morning. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow's live is going to be short as well. Matter of fact, tomorrow I'm going into the archives. So TikTok, I'm not going to stream on TikTok tomorrow. So everybody on TikTok, follow me on YouTube. You can catch me over on YouTube. I'm not going live on TikTok tomorrow. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning. Thursdays, I'm starting with Contractors Toolkit. I have an infographic. I'm going to make it available. You can download it for free. I'm also creating that. I'm also turning that into an ebook. So right now, the Contractors Toolkit is an infographic that is free. Everybody needs to download it because you need to understand what goes into, or what everybody needs to have in their toolkit in order to become a government contractor. There are 15 tools, and there's 2 bonus tools that every government contractor needs to have in their toolkit. So with that, and if there aren't any questions, this is a short live this morning because I have an appointment and then I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning. So TikTok, I'm not going live tomorrow morning. I'm not going live because I can't stream the TikTok, but everybody else, I have a recording that I'm streaming in my absence that I know everybody's going to find valuable. And I'll be back live Thursday to all platforms with the Contractors Toolkit. With that, join me 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on every platform for Contracting Chatter, where we discuss all things business, all things government contracting. I am your host, Luciana Turner. Have